Hey, Dr. Nick here. I just wanted to take a moment of your time before we get started with today's episode, and I'd really like to thank everybody for listening this last 2 years. It's been a wild ride. I know we're only in Visit 54, but at the same time, it has been just such a great learning experience for me, and I've totally enjoyed your comments, your likes, and even your reviews on iTunes. It's been very encouraging, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So please, if you haven't done so, please take a moment to go ahead and review us on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play. I'd really appreciate the feedback, especially how to do even better. And it gives me kind of the courage, but also the assumption to keep going. So I hope you take a moment to do that. Otherwise, today's episode is all about roadblocks.
Parenting in the 21st century is ever evolving. And while you balance work, kids, and your sanity, it's easy to feel discouraged. Welcome to the Super Parent Syndrome with your host, Dr. Nick Fanning.
Okay, I want everybody to take a moment, and I just want you to relax, sit, and visualize. So if you're sitting in the car, I want you to skip this episode and come back, actually, because I want you to have some time to yourself to really think this over, okay? It's super important, actually, okay? Just trust me on this one. Trust the process. We'll get through this, okay? Now, for those that are ready for this, okay, this is not going to take long, but it's very powerful. It's a great exercise for you, and I think you've probably seen this even on the Facebook Live, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to think 1 year ago. Think about some of the things that you thought to yourself about what needed to change and what you wanted to accomplish in this coming year. Okay? Now that you've identified those, it's not a guilt trip. I want you to think what went wrong. Okay? It could have been the fact that hey, I started working out, but then I got injured. Okay? Or, man, I was going to read the Bible every single day, and honestly, by day 2, I was done. Okay? Or whatever it might have been, okay, where I meant to, really romance the wife a lot more often, but then she really made me mad because she did this, the XYZ, okay? Think about those different things. So those are what we call roadblocks, okay? So think about in both your body, being, business, and balance, your spirituality, your family, those 4 big main categories of your life. What halted your progress? What happened? Or maybe you never got started, okay? But think about those things. Now, I want you to identify them, and then I want you to think about, what did you learn? Okay? Did you learn that you couldn't sleep? You just said okay, I meant to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go work out, and I still went to go, I didn't go to bed until 10:30 because I was watching, Sons of Anarchy or whatever it might have been. Okay, so what was the lesson in that? What did you learn? Okay? Now, I want you to think of if it was exactly the same, how would I actually overcome those boundaries? How would I overcome those roadblocks? And then you have to say okay, well, who do I need to become, or what needs to happen to make sure that those roadblocks are no longer applicable for this coming year? That's a pretty big topic. Okay. Now, as you go through that exercise, you may want to pause this and kind of do those things. But then when you're ready to move on, now I want you to visualize 1 year from today. Okay, sit back and relax. Okay, you're still listening to this podcast because it's awesome. But at the same time, a year from now, what do you look like? How's your body? What's it feel like? Or what are you able to do? What do you no longer have to do because of it? What have you actually devoted yourself to looking like? Are you dressing better? Do you just feel better? Do you breathe better? Are you on as many medications? Maybe you're running, maybe you're not. Maybe you're lifting, maybe you're not. Maybe you're able to play with the kids better. What does your body look like? And then I want you to think about, how about spiritually? Are you meditating? Are you going to church regularly? Are you reading? And are you reading other things too, just to kind of deepen your own spirituality? I mean, it could be different books about the Bible. It could be, you could be reading the Torah. You could be reading, Course in Miracles. You could be branching out. And, even if you are one religion, you could also look at other religions and look at those documents to also strengthen your own religion. Okay? Just challenging yourself. How about relationships? Maybe you don't have one. Maybe you're thinking what, actually, I don't have one, and I can't guarantee because I don't know anybody else, but I'm going to make sure that I'm trying and I'm going to take these actions for it. Or how does business look? Did you go for that raise? Did you go for a different job? Are you taking classes? What are those things that are going to look like 1 year from now? And visualize it, own it, feel it in your core. And then after you have that identified, okay, because here's the thing, we're creating a map. We have 1 year ago, we have now, and we know what it took from going A to B. Maybe it wasn't that much. Maybe you're pretty close to where you were. And now you're looking at C, okay? And what's it going to take to go from B to C? And what roadblocks are potentially going to be there? Are they going to be the same roadblocks that you saw last year? Or is there any potential for this coming year? Maybe it could be the fact of, in business, maybe you just got fired or you have to consider something else. So I want you to create your own map. And by that map, I mean going from A to B to C and figuring out what is possible and knowing that destination. And when you know that destination, those roadblocks won't get in the way because you've already done the work to get those down. That's your homework. Get started. Report back. I would love to actually hear anybody that's done this. Post this on the Facebook page. Private message me. I don't care. But do it, and you're going to see that much more accountability and that much more fire and power behind it. And that's my challenge for you today. Good luck, parents. Thanks.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Super Parent Syndrome. Please be sure to visit peptalksforparents.com for more content and our free newsletter. And remember, you are not alone.